Here is my conversation with Archangel Samikiel as I drew from the deck from the Angelarium, and he is the Angel of Vengeance. And this is what comes up for me. Now, with looking him up, not stating that he does not exist, I am not finding anything outside of the Angelarium in itself. So I do not know where the name comes from, and more would need to be done, and more research would need to be done in order to really search up this angel and figure out. Now, the feeling was immediate. The body feelings, just speaking the name. As I stated, I have no love of causing harm. I am fiery, I am passionate, and I do get angry. And I lash out, but I do not intend harm, and I do not want to cause harm to people. As I said before the recording was going, I am sure you can see the ravages of my own sins and the self-imposed punishments on my own body. I'm sure you can see the inner machinations just not working in the way that they're supposed to be. And in a lot of senses, I believe I deserve it. Now, why vengeance would be coming up today? Anger and frustration. Obviously, the frustration's going to be there. It doesn't seem like anything is really going my way lately. There is a extremely skewed and tilted scale in my heart. And I feel like I have been on the losing end for nearly my whole life. It seems like everything that I want is taken from me. And I have to work 10 times harder to achieve the same ends as somebody else. And it has never felt fair. It has never felt just. And I've never understood it. I can't quantify what I am worth because I don't know what I am worth. But I know that I am worth a whole lot more than people put on me. There is a completely intangible aspect to it, and I can't articulate what it actually is. If I am allowed to flow free, I make everything better. But rarely, if ever, in my life have I ever been able to be allowed to flow free. I understand the vengeance aspect coming in because it feels like I just want to clam up and shun away the world and hurt anything that comes towards me. Take vengeance. Take my revenge on those that have caused me pain, caused me harm. But war isn't something that I languish in. I don't revel in the pain of others. I am not a monster. And I do have a very stern definition as to what a monster really is. I like to think myself a just individual, which is why I take time to cool down before I make decisions. The only times I feel that I make snap decisions or I go after something wholeheartedly is when there is more than enough evidence and I don't need a second opinion. You bring your blade before me and I can see it. Beautiful and pristine, but also rusted and dented simultaneously. It is both justice and passions that have gone too far. So why does it bring you before me today? Why do you make your presence known? Because vengeance lies in my heart. But my heart is too soft to carry it out. And two wrongs don't make a right. Violence only begets violence. Curses only beget curses. Hatred only begets hatred. And that is not what I want. And every time I try and I want to just lash out at somebody, I end up lashing out inside of myself at myself. I take vengeance upon myself, upon my own head. Creating pain doesn't make me feel better. It makes me feel worse. But at this point, I don't know what to do. I am at a loss, and quite frankly, I believe myself to be too soft. Too unwilling to pull the trigger, even though it may be in my best interest. I need that high council. Not necessarily an earthly one. I know you see all. The gods and goddesses. Angels, demons, and daemons. Muses and other spirits. Within the collective, I know y'all see all. What do I do? Every turn hurts, and it feels like my mother's curses. And quite frankly, if it is my mother's curses, send them back upon her head. Let her feel her own pain. Let her create her own prison. I disown her. I am a child with no mother. I am a child with no father. I became my own mother and father. Instead of a swift vengeance where blood fills mouths, my vengeance is disconnection. My presence can bring forth such prosperity, such beauty, such abundance if left to actually do what it needs to do. When I am not overcome with pain. So yes, vengeance may be a double-edged sword. But I am not asking you to pierce a person. I am asking you to create permanent disconnection of energy, of time, hell, even of relation. There are only a handful of people that I genuinely want to maintain connection with. That's going to be Laura. That's going to be my children. Yvonne, Ariana, Victoria. I want to maintain connection with Felicia and Charlotte. I would like to maintain connection with my brother. If there are a few others that actually benefit me, as well as the other person, bring them on. But I would like my energy back, my time back, my love back. This area has taken so much from me. So these dead roots, these killers of inspiration, these murderers of hope, these leeches of abundance, for my good, for my children's good, for my partner's good, and for my partner's family's good. Disconnect them from me. Prune the tree so that it may live and grow and prosper, instead of trying to feed dead roots, dead limbs, dead connections. Remove them before they necrotize the living parts. My vengeance always and always has been. If you hurt me, if you hurt me so badly, the consequences of your actions will be that you will live without me. You will know what it is like to be loved, to be cherished, to be adored. And then I will leave such a void in your life that you will never know how to fill it up again. I am an individual where I am not anyone's dream girl. I am not anyone's dream friend. Because no one can imagine me up. But once I am in your life, I have made such impact. There is only the before and the after. And if you have made it to where the after is devoid of my presence, then that is your curse.